Hello everyone, today we're going to look at how to solve quadratic inequalities. Inequalities means it could be less than, less equals than, greater than, or greater equal than. And let's have a look at example 1. We have x squared minus 4 is less than 0. To solve quadratic inequalities, we always need to sketch a graph. But how to sketch a graph? We need to have the key point. So this is our step 1. We're going to solve to find x. So we're going to make this equation an equality. So we're going to have x squared minus 4 equals 0. So solve to find the two values for x. So I have my x is, so we know this x squared minus 4 is the difference of two square numbers. So we know it's x plus 2, x minus 2, which is equals to 0. Then solve to find x, set each bracket equals to 0. So x plus 2 equals 0. Or x minus 2 equals 0. So we know the two values for x is that x could either be minus 2 or x is equals to 2. So those are where the graph intersects the x-axis. So the x values are where it crosses the x-axis. Then step 2. We're going to find y-intersection, so where the graph cuts the y-axis. Find graph cuts the y-axis. So the graph cut the y-axis when x is equals to 0. So we know the equation is x squared minus 4 equals 0, and when x is when x squared minus y is equals to y. So we want to know where it casts the y-axis. So x must equals to 0. This is when x equals to 0. So 0 squared minus 4 is equals to y. Therefore, we know that it cuts the y-axis at minus 4. So now we have our 3 key points. So step 3, we can sketch our graph. So sketch the graph y equals x squared minus 4. So this is our x-axis and y-axis. So remember, our x squared, when we know it's quadratic, because we know it's x squared. So when x squared term is positive, so when we have a positive x squared, the general shape of the quadratic graph looking like this. So this could be 2x squared, 3x squared, 5x squared, 10x squared. So the shape always looking like this. Whereas a negative x squared shape would look like this. So a minus 5x squared, minus 20x squared. So the general shape is always looking like an n. So we know our key point. So we know it cuts the x-axis at minus 2 and 2. It cuts the y-axis at minus 4. And we know the x squared term is positive. So our general shape is looking like this. So we can sketch our graph. So now we can look at our equation. So we want to find when this graph, so this is the graph x squared minus 4, and we want to find when this graph is less than 0. So remember, this line is when it's 0, so we're interested in this part, this when it's less than 0. Therefore, the x values are when it's greater than minus 2 and when it's less than 2. So when, for example, here it's less than 0, when it's here, and when x is 1, graph is less than when let's pick a point. So let's say this point is 1. When x is equals to 1, just check. So we have the equation x squared minus 4 is less than 0. So when x is 1, so 1 squared is 1. So 1 minus 4 is minus 3, and that is less than 0. So this is